YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another reaction video. We got some more Genesis today. Finally, about time, probably. Can't remember the last time we did Genesis, although I say that about just about every band we do nowadays. I struggle to keep track. But we're doing more Genesis today, and I have been saying recently, I think in the Limelight video, that I wanted to do, obviously, more Rush, but also that I wanted to do more prog, generally speaking. And that we would be doing more Genesis, and yes, as a result of that, and then maybe branching out with bands from there. And we actually have a donor request today from James, so thank you very much for this. It took me a little bit to get to it, which I apologise for, but I mean, you can probably see for yourselves. There was like one video in the past week and a half on the channel. Yeah, I've not had many opportunities to record over the past couple of weeks, but I'm hopefully back on the horse and ready to go again. But it came at a perfect time. He suggested Driving the Last Spike by Genesis, which, as I say, brilliant, because we wanted to do some prog anyway. And as I always like to mention at the start of the donor requests, you can do that if you want. There's always a link in the description. Obviously, it's always optional, but you can support the channel and also get a song request on at the same time. Two birds stoned at once. That said, Genesis, Driving the Last Spike, 1991, from the album We Can't Dance. I couldn't find a lyric video, so you guys are going to have to just, like, it'll just be, I mean, I'll put the thing in the bottom right, but in the bottom left, but it'll just be the album cover, so there's not really much to look at. I'm mostly just going to be listening, but that's fine, let's listen. Let's go. Beachy? It's quite calm. It's quite a bright sunny day right now. I think this suits the vibe, the energy.
Leaving my family behind me,
There's the voice.
not knowing what lay ahead, waving goodbye as I left them in tears, remembering all we'd said. I looked to the sky, I offered my prayers, I asked him for guidance and strength.
So we got like a story?
Simple beliefs of a simple man lay in his hands and on my head. My head. I gave everything that they wanted, but still they wanted more. We sweat
And again, a little layered, I'm hearing more things being added in. I think maybe we're building a little bit to something. Maybe these are story builds as well.
I sold them my soul. I gave everything I had. Oh, but they couldn't break my spirit. My dignity fought back. Fight back.
Oh, the drums. There we go. Okay, and then we got a bit of a change of pace.
Here
someone's like left their family to do manual work of some sort, like manual labour.
But as it fell, disappeared, stone fell like rain. Can you hear me? Can you see? Don't you hear me? Can you breathe?
I feel like now we're transitioning a little bit. Okay, it's always awkward to pause prog music because of the way it kind of transitions and flows and stuff. But I you know, I have to pause somewhere because of copyright. I'm digging the journey so far. The drums are incredible. They're such like a driving force in like the story of the song, I feel like, and the way the song is progressing. So I leaving my family behind me, not knowing what lay ahead. So that's what I'm trying to follow the story as it goes as well. So I guess yeah, someone's had to leave his family behind to put in like physical work somewhere. Good men lost their lives. I don't think they knew what for. Gave everything I had, but they couldn't break my spirit. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay, we'll talk about all this at the end. But yeah, I just wanted to go my pausing because copyright, etc. You know, we've got to do our duties as a reaction channel here. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, I already felt it building, and then we got a bit going. And it's interesting that it seems like it's quite like a serious topic or story. And yet I still feel like it's quite a bouncy song. So we'll see where it goes. Well, we are bringing it down a little bit now.
The smoke cleared, the dust it settled. No one knew how many had died. All around there were broken men. They'd said it was safe, they'd lied. You could hear the cries, you could smell the fear.
So the music kind of picked up for like whatever the stuff that was going on that caused the death, and then this is like the music's come back down as the dust settles.
It seems it's hard to find. Can you hear me? Can you see? Don't you hear me? Don't you see?
Yeah, we're still going with it. It's still got that energy. It still feels like upbeat and sunny, even though we just talked about a bunch of people losing their lives.
All we work like the devil for our pay. Through the wind, through the snow, and through the rain. Blasting and cutting through God's country like a knife. Sweat stinging my eyes. There has to be a better life. Oh, but I can hear my children's cry, and I can see the tears in their eyes. Memories of those I've left behind, still ringing in my ears. Will I ever go back again?
So I'm wondering if now he's trying to like run away from it, from what he's been through, and trying to get away from the situation to protect himself at this point, even though he knows that that means not returning to his family. Potentially.
Will I ever see our face again? Oh, I
yeah, now he's trying to like reconcile or like deal with the fact that he has seen death, and he knows that that means that their families have said goodbye. Lifting and laying the track. The music really moves with his voice in this one. Or at least it feels like it is right now. And they're tied together very closely. Still like mindlessly bobbing along though sometimes. Like, I'm really invested in this serious story, but I'm also just like vibing. And there we have it. Right, he said obviously driving the last spike, name of the title. I was wondering what that alluded to. Name of the title? Title of the song? Name of the song? I don't know, something like that. And he said something about they were building a rail track, right? A railroad. Driving the last spike, lifting hands, laying the track. So let me read the bio here. There we go. The song is about railway workers in the 19th century, many of whom lost their lives building railway lines in England. Tells the feelings and ideas of an unknown worker. Yeah, so obviously I didn't want to just like read that and know that going in straight away, but you kind of got that, you know, I got about like leaving his family to go do some like physical labor of some description, and then not realizing, I guess, the severity or the intensity of the situation that ended up resulting in people losing their lives. And he kept going to this line where he said about how he'll never forget the night, which I think is the night that, I'll always remember the night, as they waved goodbye to their fathers, like you know, families and children waving goodbye to waving goodbye to their fathers, as in like, you know, goodbye as they go to work, but they didn't realize that they're really like waving, like it's like goodbye, because they didn't realize that they were, you know, going to go off and die probably, right? So and he is someone who hasn't died, is now not only dealing with the fact that he's been around to see people die, but he's also dealing with the fact that he remembers back the night where he saw all these people, all these men saying goodbye to their wives and children, not knowing that it was like that type of goodbye, right? But then yeah, and I don't know if he's you know, it talks about they came from the north, they came from the south, they came from all over, showing no fear, they'll never see the likes of us again. So I don't know if he's now left, or if he's now, because he's saying about how like memories of those he left behind, will I ever go back again? Will I ever see her face again? So I don't know if he's like trying to, like, he's still got to do his work and he knows that people have died, but he knows that he's still got to carry on. and finish, and that's what he's like worried about now. Is will he also be one of those people who doesn't get to make it back to his family? I think maybe that's the case, as opposed to, I know I said earlier, it sounded like maybe he was running away from the work, but in the same way, to do that meant also running away from his family. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but yeah, we followed the rail, we slept under the stars, digging in the darkness and living with danger, showing no fear of what lies up ahead. They'll never see the likes of us again. So it's that kind of like, they almost feel like, hey, you know that Metallica song, Disposable Heroes? Slightly, a completely different context, but the way that that talks about like soldiers and members of the army going off to war and dying, and like they're almost treated as disposable, because it's like to the people like way up to the top, it's just numbers, it's just like units to throw out into combat. They don't care about the likes of the people who are human beings and who are actually going out and fighting. It almost feels like a similar thing, as they'll never see the likes of us again. Like to the people who are like paying to have the railroads built and like the higher ups and stuff, they don't really care about the people who are actually going out there and risking and also losing their lives to actually create these railroads and stuff. And he's trying to kind of maybe be like, oh, it's the likes of us, like the people who have to do this that don't really get a second look, or don't really get cared about. But yeah, it was interesting that it was quite a serious song. He's talking about like seeing people die and stuff, but it was still quite, like I said, I was bouncing along the whole time. But I do like the way that prog. Sometimes people talk about certain prog songs where the lyrics aren't necessarily the main focus. It's just kind of like they're as part of the song as any instrument is. But I also feel like prog does a really good job when they are telling a story of using the music to shape the story, and letting the music and the lyrics and the vocals go hand in hand together. To create that story. I really felt like that was the case here. Like there was that bit where it picked up and there was a lot of energy and it was quite bouncy, and then it slowed down a bit and he was like, oh, now the dust has settled, I've seen people die. Like that was the chaos of everything that was going on with building the railroads and trying to come to terms with the situation, and then people losing their lives, and then him having to like settle on that as the music slowed down. So the music very much progressed with the lyrics the whole way through, I feel, and the storytelling. And I think prog is very, very good for that. Okay. That said, I think that's about all I've got to say. I enjoyed it, and I will definitely do more Genesis soon. Maybe more from this album. I don't know. We'll keep bouncing around. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all. Thank you again to James for donating and requesting this. It's very, very much appreciated, as always, when people do that. I appreciate you all. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.